What do we have here? Is this the new Quickshifter killer, or is it yet another tech we didn't ask for? We've brought two very identical bikes with us to the Mussel, Germany during a heatwave, so we could tell you more about the difference between an E-Clutch and the Quickshifter. We've asked our local Honda dealer how people are responding to the new E-Clutch technology. Well, people form a very quick defensive standpoint about that. People are saying things like, I want to be in control. If people knew I didn't clutch myself, would they even wave at me? If bikes even start clutching themselves, where does it end? I'd rather stall at a traffic light than pull the stick out of my ass I call a real biker. Most people believed that the core element of riding will be taken away from you, that you will lose control and give yourself over to fancy computers. But that's far from the truth. Quick disclosure, yes, Honda sponsored this video, and no, they have no influence on the results. Everything you're about to hear is based on my own experience riding both systems. So let's go. In case of the E-Clutch, the bike does not shift without your permission. Even better, you have to do all the riding and all the timing yourself. The E-Clutch just takes out a functional part which is completely optional at all times and doesn't compromise control and adds fun even. I was able to test out the first gen of E-Clutch, and to be honest, it wasn't without flaw, and Honda knew that. That's the reason why it was only available at the 650 bikes. But now, on the 750, with ride-by-wire, it really picked up the game. If Honda promises you do not need to use the clutch in any case, they are telling the truth. This bike is very fun to ride, and the transition is very gradual. It's just like you're releasing the clutch yourself. And don't get me wrong, the clutch on the Quickshifter bike is as light as a feather. So if you go touring for all day, the hand cramps aren't really a thing like in the old days with the old bikes. But being able to stop without using your left hand, being able to ride away in first gear without even thinking about it, it feels very safe, very confident, and it's very fast. Let's get a bit more technical. How does a Quickshifter even work? Well, you add a computer and it gives a signal to the ECU when to cut power so the gears can get in sync. So it only works when you are going up and really getting on the throttle. And let's not start yet about the blipper. The Quickshifter was born on track, made for track, and not really thought about for road use. But the Quickshifter is very romanticized. Everyone wants to have it, even though not everyone knows how to use it. You can actually only use a Quickshifter going very fast, like riding track or going onto the highway. But actually, it's not that great on the street because you cannot go full throttle everywhere without breaking any laws. The Quickshifter gives an electrical signal to the ECU when to cut power so the gears can get in sync. With the E-Clutch, it's a bit different. There are two motors inside and it's ride-by-wire, so it's a combination of the two. Actually, the Quickshifter on the 2025 Honda Hornet and the 2026 Honda Hornet with E-Clutch look exactly the same. And yes, the E-Clutch does somewhat the same as the Quickshifter, but more, not only cutting the gas, but also clamping the clutch, which brings a lot of possibilities. No matter your speed, gear, throttle input, you can shift at any time. The quickest shifting you can imagine without the odds of damaging your gearbox. And as a bonus, you can come to a complete stop without needing to grab the clutch. Most of the time I park my bike in first gear, and when I go to ride away I have to grab the clutch to start it. No problem, I still have a lever. I'm very surprised by the feeling of the slipping clutch. It really feels like you are controlling it. It really let it slip at exactly the right amount, which gives a lot of confidence. Even doing U-turns, riding up a hill, parking, it's very nice. The E-Clutch is fast, fierce and gentle when it needs to be, unlike a Quickshifter. But all the theoretical physics are very amazing, of course, but let's test them in the real world. I do not need to use the clutch, and when I do need to go, I can go. When I want to stop on a normal bike, I have to grab the clutch and release it and find traction. And when you need to ride very slowly, you have to find the grabbing point of the clutch yourself. And when you are in slow traffic, it just grabs the clutch automatically. And it's just very gentle to use. So, Quickshifter does only one thing, gives an electrical signal. E-Clutch does the same, but also engaging the clutch. And for downward shifting, you actually need a blipper that gives a little bit of gas so you can gear down. At the E-Clutch, yeah, it's all combined. When I am riding my 19-year-old bike, I become a lazy rider. I stay in gears for way too long, so I don't need to grab the clutch because it's very heavy and it hurts my fingers if I have to ride for more than an hour. Handling the clutch does not add to the rider experience. In my case, it's even demotivating. And I'm willing to bet that the technician that came up with the E-Clutch is a daily commuter. So yeah, there is a lot of confusion about the E-Clutch. It's not an automatic bike and it's not trying to be. If you are in a gear, you are stuck with it unless you give it commands. I hope you now understand what an E-Clutch is, why it is designed to make riding even better than it already was without compromising track usability. Hopefully I motivated you to try something new, form your own opinion and maybe leave a like or a comment if you like this video. See you maybe in the next one.